Continuing my foray into these fun and inexpensive amplifiers, this is the Aiyima A70. It's a simple butter block sized amplifier and it features balanced connections. And I'm going to be talking about this amplifier from my own sample size of one use case, a very biased perspective, mine, where I use it on my desk near field for two different solutions. Let's talk about it. And of course, if you wouldn't mind liking this video, subscribe to the channel. It'll help me out a ton, help me get more products like this one in for review. Cheers. This is a pretty small and pretty simple integrated amplifier. It's 5 3/4 inches long, 3 inches wide, and 3.5 inches high. It's based on the TPA 3255 NE5532 chipset. It features a volume knob on the front with 3 small LEDs below, RCA, power, and XLR. Around the back you get an XLR input, an RCA input, a subwoofer out, RCA gain switch, 12-volt trigger, subwoofer frequency regulator, and a power input. You can fit a power supply from 35 to 48 volts. Mine came with a 48-volt power supply. With the 36 volt, you get output at 55 watts into 8 ohms, 100 into 4. And with 48 volts, you get 105 watts into 8 ohms and 185 into 4. I got all these specs from the literature, and I'll leave a link down below to their website, and you could pore over all the specs should you want to. But honestly, the power rating doesn't make a heck of a lot of difference to me. Even if it was low powered, it would still take care of a setup issue that I had in this space, and maybe there's someone out there that has a similar pain point. I'll admit I'm guilty of dismissing these types of products at first. I thought they were low-cost trade-offs of audio gear, but the more I used them, the more I enjoyed using them, and the more I saw their benefit. And this one in particular comes in quite handy for me. I live in a condo, and my office / YouTube studio / storage area is in the den. And the den in this condo is really just another name for a room that they didn't bother finishing. It's 3 walls, it's open on one side, there's no door, there's no extra privacy. I think that would cost like $100,000 more in Toronto if you wanted doors on your den. It's small, it's about 8 by 9. I fit my desk, my shelf, my DJ setup, and most of the products that I get in for review. I have an amp on my desk, a DAC or preamp for headphones, an amp on the other side of my room connected to speakers, and I'm always looking for a streamlined way of connecting my mixer to one of these amplifiers. Usually that entails me running long RCA cables, and usually I get some sort of noise or feedback with that approach. But XLR cables are known for not transmitting too much noise over longer runs. So when this amplifier popped up, I was super excited because I could hook up XLRs and RCAs and switch between them. My desk is where I burn in speakers. I connect the TAC UD507 via my MacBook Pro and then output to the A70 via RCAs. And then I connect the Pioneer DJM 450 to the A70 via XLRs. And to toggle between them, I just depress the power button and it switches between XLR and RCA. And I can use the same speakers for 2 different setups. To me, that's kind of awesome. I currently have it hooked up to the ELAC Unify Reference bookshelf speaker. It's a pretty large speaker to have on your desk, I know. And before that, it was the Bucart P300s. And I use this itty bitty little amplifier to run in both of those speakers before I get them into place for the review. The thing I like about this amplifier the most is how little noise it actually makes. When I don't have any music playing and I have the volume turned all the way up, I don't hear any audible noise and I'm sitting fairly close to the speakers. And because I'm sitting so closely, everything sounds good. I'm never once worried if this amplifier can properly drive a speaker. It was more than enough, and I almost never took the volume past 12 o'clock on the dial. 9 o'clock is plenty loud for me, and when I'm watching TV or listening to a podcast, voices sound natural and clear. Any crashes or explosions sound big and full. I have really no complaints. It doesn't have tone controls though, and that's usually a bit of a pain point for me, but if I'm just watching content or movies, I don't really care for the tone controls. And then for my second setup on my DJ turntables, I have all the tone and distortion that I would ever want on board on the mixer, so it's never really a point of contention for me this time. I found a playlist called New Ambient on Spotify, and I listen to that while I'm working. There's a bunch of beautiful soundscape tracks on there. Fondo by Nacho Maldonado is a drony, moody, hypnotic type of tune, and it reminds me of the intro for The Thing. It's pretty cool, and it sounds nice and expansive on these speakers. Two Kids from Elzai sounds pretty badass on this. I like the way Elzai's voice comes through on these ELACs. It has decent bottom end too, but because I'm listening near field to non-near field speakers, I miss most of what these speakers are actually capable of doing. It does sound better if I push my chair back and the bass sounds fuller, the kicks hit harder, but it sounds even better when I just leave my den altogether and just go into the kitchen to make coffee. That's when the music sounds its best. And when I do decide to muck around on my turntables, I switch the A70 over to XLR mode, and then I go about my mix. I can monitor the tracks coming in on my headphones. Music comes through the ELAC Unify reference. It sounds incredible. It's a perfect two-setup solution for a tiny office. And if I wasn't reviewing audio gear and I was looking for a solution, this amplifier would most likely be the solution. So then, listening from my kitchen, it dawned upon me that this tiny little amplifier can power a pair of ELAC Unify references no problem. So it works as a non-desktop solution as well. It can easily be the main amplifier in a modest-sized room. Just bear in mind that you would need to pair this with a DAC to make it a full-fledged media system. And that brings me to the one downside. It's not actually this product. It's the lack of a companion product. Aiyima themselves make a bunch of DACs, but they don't have anything that looks like this, a simple, small, butter-sized block of a DAC. All the other DACs are different shapes and sizes. There's nothing matchy-match, and if they made something that was a similar chassis, or even something that was a similar footprint as this, I'd be all over it.